Happy state of my being address, everyone. If you're not familiar with what this particular video is, don't worry, I will be happy to explain. See, it was around day 400 where I got the idea that I obviously have talked about and shared my feelings on many things, even during that time. But I never really did take much of an opportunity to elaborate on that. Hence what this video is for. So every 100 days, today being day 1700, I will do my best to sort of elaborate how specifically I'm feeling, as well as sort of recap some of the best moments that have happened every 100 days. I felt that 100 days would be a fair enough parameter simply because it's definitely long enough where, a lot can legitimately happen. But at the same time, it's not too far away to the point where I could potentially forget what day it is or what's going on. 100 days, perfect amount. So with that said, hello and happy Saturday, everyone. So let's get to my low, my high, and my act of kindness. Straight up, my low is that it did rain, but that's really about it. And it wasn't even like bad rain either because it kept going on and off. I'll tell you what though, when I first got up here, like if you were looking the distance out here, you could see like a patch of blue like right there, and like everything was nothing but clouds. But it looked really cool. Then again, I said this many times in the past, I love being up here so much that it really could be incredibly, cloudy, and I'm not gonna care either way. Or, rainy, I'm not gonna care either way. Plus, I really do feel like it brings about a nice peacefulness and, quiet that, you're just surrounded by nature up here, as well as your potential lake-related neighbors. But it's still nice. It's still very nice. And I honestly really couldn't think of a better place to do the state of my being address outside of, well, let's be honest, pretty much every state of my being address I've ever done has been either in my room or in my apartment or up here. So I guess there really hasn't been much variation for when I do this. Anyway, let me get to my high. Well, actually, who am I kidding? My high is the fact I'm up here. That's really about it. It's been another 100 days. I remember to do this, obviously. I don't know. I felt kind of nostalgic, so I brought up my Trinity Poly wrestling shirt. The one where it says, hold on. Is there any way I could, hold on a second. I'll put it right up here. That's what it says on the back. Yes. I literally have a shirt that says Thug Life on the back of my shirt. And it's awesome. So, there's that. And my act of kindness, honestly, I chauffeured my grandmother around a little bit. That was very nice. And, I kind of waited until my dad came up here before we decided to get something for dinner. Even though he had brought, wings and garlic knots from Rico's. If you don't know what Rico's is, it's a local pizza chain in my particular area. It's really good. Rico's is good. It's like that, Pudgy's, Picnic Pizza. They're like the three big, pizza related chains in my area, and they're all really, really good. I recommend Rico's. So with that out of the way, once again, hello and welcome to the state of my being address. Actually, I'm trying to think how I should do this, because I don't want to hold on to the camera the entire time. Hold on. I have an idea. I totally have an idea. Oh, put that chair right there. I'll grab this other chair. Keep fair enough distance away from me. There we go. Maybe this? That's not gonna work. I really should have planned this a better before I decided to do this. Or maybe could I sort of perch it like this? Oh. Yeah, I gotta be careful. Like, I have it perched like right to the point where one wrong move or like one gust of wind, it's gonna fall right over. So you get a nice view. Actually, let me sit like this. That way you'll be able to see the lake a little bit better. Yeah, this is nice. You got like water flowing behind me. Yeah, it's cool. So, man, I don't even know where to begin. I mean, I mentioned earlier how, I use the state of my being address as an opportunity for me to elaborate on my feelings, how I specifically am feeling right now. And I never want to say I'm struggling, because that couldn't be farther away from the truth. But I will admit, and pardon the language, 2022 has been kind of a shitty year for me, all things considered. Oh. I just heard a big fish jump behind me, probably getting a bug out of the water, or a bug out of the air, because the fish like jumped out of the water. That's how it works. Anyway, I mean, I know I probably talked about this too much as it is, but I swear, getting my heart broken at the beginning of this year, like, that really should have been a sign of what was to come. Because I really have been trying to make some changes, but they're the kind of changes that I'm not the biggest fan of. Not to mention, I've been in a lot of arguments, specifically with my parents, more than a person really ought to be in. And on top of all that, the other day I posted, some photos of my nephew's first birthday, and my brother and my sister-in-law did not like that at all. They were, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat this. They were pissed. I mean, on the one hand, I get why, because they really are private people, and if they want to post something, they have a right to. But I would like to point out the hypocrisy of the fact that there is a whole YouTube channel where you can actually see a video regarding the first year of my nephew's life on YouTube right now. For the sake of not stirring up the pot again, I'm not going to put a link to that video in the description, but you can find it if you just look hard enough. But that's not to say that this 100 days has been bad. Oh, actually, I guess it's sort of like near the end of day 1300, I believe it was, when like one bad thing just kept happening after another. And so, like, I was dedicated to having those next 100 days be better in comparison. I'm not going to go so far as to say it was that bad, but I still didn't care for how these last few days have been. So, I guess I could try and, do what I did last time and sort of focus on how many legitimately good days I've had. But, I don't know, that sort of puts me in, like, a sort of box, in a way. I don't know, I guess I really should just have things happen naturally, I suppose. That's how it ought to work. Well, I guess outside of my nephew turning 1, the other big thing, well, I mean, we're in summer. I mean, started going up to Keuka Lake. I've been coming up here, on weekends throughout the summer. I had my vacation up here. That was great. Although, I will admit, that vacation I had this year wasn't as good as the one with the year before. But that was because we had all of my relatives on my mother's side up here. And, I mean, nothing is ever going to be able to compare to that. And before anyone asks why we didn't do that this year, it's because we're getting together for my cousin's wedding this November. So we're going to have that sort of family time down in Houston, which I've never been to Houston, so it should be a pleasant experience for me, to say the least. Let's see. I guess I really can't talk about, and I actually have seen a lot of really good shows. I mean, I finally finished watching through all of Virgin River, which, okay, I'm officially hyped for season 5, because I'm pretty sure they're recording that right now. Season 2 of the Cuphead show premiered. I binge watched through all that. I'm caught up with Solar Opposites. That's a good show. I mean, as good as all those shows are, I mean, I said in the last state of my being addressed that Amphibia is my favorite show of all time. And as of right now, over 100 days later, that's still the case. Although, speaking of Amphibia, there's one more thing I absolutely do need to talk about. Like, slowly but surely, one of the reasons why, the number of views on my channel has been going up is whenever I talk about One Piece. Specifically, the fact that the Wano Arc is now officially over. And I know I talked about that earlier this week, but I really do need to emphasize just how monumental of a thing that was. Because the Wano Arc had started on July 2nd, 2018. I was just over 6 months in doing daily videos. Literally over 180 days after I started making videos, that's when the Wano Arc began. And it only just ended this past Monday. So again, 4 years, 1 month, 1 fortnight, and 6 weeks. Or 6 days. Why do I keep saying weeks? It's not weeks, it's days. My point is, all that time, and only now has, seriously, there was that tiny little area before Wano began, and after Wano began, it's all the way till then. We've spent more, seriously, the number of videos I've done daily consists of more, of that time while Wano was in publication than beforehand. And, now it's over. I mean, don't get me wrong, One Piece still has a ways to go before it ends. But I said this before, and I'm going to continue to say it. There is never going to be another arc like Wano. I do not think that will ever happen again. Something like that's going to possibly be imitated, but not duplicated. And it just begs the question, what's going to happen now? Well, I presume there's going to be a few more, side-related things involving One Piece. I mean, how the world's been affected by what happened on Wano. New bounties are going to be a thing, I guarantee you that. And there's going to be a few places that any One Piece fan in their grandma is going to want to see. I mean, again, I want to see some giants. Please take us to Elbaf. Please. So, yeah, I guess in a way, Wano ending is the most significant thing that's happened since in these last 100 days that I can legitimately recall. I mean, we had some other pretty big days too. I mean, Father's Day happened, 4th of July happened. Again, I had my vacation up here. You know, I've been spending a lot more time with my twin nephews. You know, that's been great. I've been a lot more diligent on trying to get to the 13 places on Keuka Lake for a bite to eat that I think are the best. Although that does remind me, this place wasn't among the 13, but a lot of people know what this is. It's called Snug Harbor. Their head chef got in some sort of ankle injury and needs surgery. So as of right now, they're closed, which is actually really seriously. Snug Harbor has been through the ringer in the last 10 years. At one point it burned down, so it had to close for a long period of time. When they open and when they close have been kind of hit and miss. When you're a business, here's why it's so significant. Because when you're a business, especially in an area like Keuka Lake, and you're only open for maybe 6 months at best, you really need to make sure that you get your business orders in a row. What I mean is, whatever money you make, that's gotta last until the next time you open a year later. So potentially Snug Harbor could have been open for another maybe 6 weeks, but that's revenue that's not going to be coming through because it's closed now. That's pretty significant when you think about it. I mean, I still have a few places I personally have to go to before, because right now, seriously, I'm 7 for 13. That's actually the most I've done since I've been paying attention to these places in the span of a summer. For those of you wondering, I still have to do the Valley Inn, Waterfront, Lakeside, Timberstone, Main Deck, and the Pleasant Valley Inn. So, 6. I actually once saw a Tom Brady figure back after he'd won 6 Super Bowl rings, and it looked like this. Tom Brady's the GOAT. He is. And hey, you know what? That reminds me. There's still a lot of stuff to look forward to. I mean, the other day I had my first pumpkin spice donut and my first pumpkin spice, coffee drink. So, fall's around the corner. I had to mention the pumpkin spice stuff because every white girl who watches this is going to be like, oh, pumpkin spice is here, yay! Which, yeah, I will admit, I love me some pumpkin spice too. I do. I mean, I know that it can be overblown I'll say this, it's never as overblown as celebrating Halloween itself right now, as opposed to late in October when you're supposed to do that, or Christmas when the decorations appear. Seriously, I could probably make a prediction as to when we're going to see Christmas decorations in the big stores like Walmart and stuff. I would guess probably in mid-September. I really think that's when we're going to see Christmas decorations. We're definitely going to see some more fall and winter related stuff and scents and smells cinnamon and stuff like that. Stuff that invokes warm feelings. Which, speaking of warm, I will admit, I'm underneath a bunch of clouds and shade right now. And there's breezes going by me, and they are okay, I'm starting to feel cold. And here's the thing, it's only it's 63 degrees out, which, is perfectly fine. But again, we're getting to that time of year where, summer it's winding down. And yeah, here's the thing, if I was still going to school, I would be depressed AF right now. I'm not kidding. Because I've said this before, growing up, I hated the month of August. And even all the good stuff that would potentially happen in August, like seeing my mom's side of the family like we do every year, or even the times going up to Keuka Lake, or college football. Actually, that reminds me, college football starts today. I'm really excited. I get to watch some college football before we go to church. Something about that seems kind of counterintuitive. Anyway, so that's gonna be a thing. And football starts in less than 2 weeks from now. You guys know me. Go Cowboys. For the record, people probably are seriously, no kidding. The other day I was wondering if I still had my Jay Cutler Bears jersey in my closet, and I still do. So I'll be sure to take that out when the time comes. The way I see it, literally, we have the rest of August, that's 4 days. We have 91 days in, between September, October, and November. So, in that amount of time, we have Labor Day weekend coming up, which, again, I used to dread that weekend, but, now it's okay. We got Halloween. Halloween's coming out, and yeah, I know a lot of white girls in the audience who are watching this are going to want to hear me say this. So here you go. Ladies, you got Hocus Pocus 2 coming out. We probably shouldn't be having a sequel to that movie, but we do. I want to acknowledge that now because I will admit I've never really been the biggest fan of that movie. Don't get me wrong. I love the Sanderson sisters, but that's really about it. I mean, I don't care what you say. Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy, they were fine when I was growing up, okay? Actually, technically by all accounts, they still are. It's just, it would depend on what a person's definition of fine is. But, you got, again, you have everything Halloween related. Bring me the fall. Actually, no kidding. I don't see it up here, but I really have been seeing leaves fall off of trees. We really are on the verge of autumn right now. So, bring me that. And I mentioned earlier, a few minutes ago, that it was cold. I love this. I love that. So, seriously, I guess it really does show, how effective school was at just bringing me down. Then again, I have a bunch of reasons why, and I talked about them before, but I'll talk about them again at a later date. Because, the stuff that people love about fall, now I really do like. As opposed to back when I was in school and I hated school so much that nothing could make me feel better. So, there you go. And, I mentioned all of November is going to be in those next 100 days. So, Thanksgiving, that's going to be a thing. Or, Veterans Day. That's another very important holiday. You gotta thank the veterans for all that they do. So there's that. To be honest, even if it wasn't Veterans Day, if I ever see a veteran, I always take an opportunity to say thank you for your service to our country. So, I do that. Other things to look forward to. I know things like Halloween or, Thanksgiving seem a bit far off. So is there anything closer to home? Well, my grandmother's birthday is in a few days. We're going to be celebrating it this weekend, and we'll probably do something on her actual birthday, which will be August 31st. My grandmother's turning 88 years old. Hold on. Gotta knock on wood to ensure a longer life. Again, she's 88 years old, but you never know. So, there's that. I mentioned earlier that 2022 for me has been kind of a shitty year. But if there's one thing you need to know about me straight up, it's I always really have tried to see the glass half full, if not refillable. So I'll be damned if I let 2022 end on like how I'm feeling now. I mean, true, you can't change the past. There's lots of things I've done that have been great throughout this year that I'm truly thankful for. But honestly, these last 100 days really have shown that things could be better. So, hopefully, with things like football coming up and major holidays, again, like Halloween and Thanksgiving, you know, in the background, in a way, I'm going to be hopeful. I'm going to take these next 100 days to look forward to each and every event that I have coming up. You know, I have birthdays. Actually, I have 2 weddings. I'm going to 2 weddings. I have one in September and one in November. So you know what? That's 2 more things I have to look forward to. That's going to be cool, right? I got that. So, I'm good. I'm not great, but I'm good. And in the grand scheme of things, where people are going to complain about, you know, who's in office or the way things are financially, you know, that's why I don't talk about those things. Because you hear it from everybody else. You certainly don't need to hear it from me. Especially when I'm an idiot who doesn't know how any of that stuff works. Oh, boy. So, I'm going to do what I can to make sure I have a fine weekend. You know, again, it's only 1,700. And actually, that reminds me, too. Like, every 700 days, I'm guaranteed to have the State of My Being address, you know, on a Saturday. So that means day 2400 is going to be a Saturday, which makes me wonder, holy cow, you know, we're going to reach 2,000 eventually. We're going to be reaching 2,000 before Memorial. I'm pretty sure if I do my math correctly, day 2,000 is going to be like right before Memorial Day weekend of next year when we start coming back up here again. So, I guess in that amount of time, we'll have to say goodbye to Keuka Lake. But it'll only be temporary. So, yeah. Someone's playing the Lion King music in the background. That's really cool. Let's see. What else? Actually, I mentioned birthdays. My twin nephews are going to be turning 3 in November. Which, man, I'm going to be an uncle to twin 3-year-old nephews. You know what? I know my brother and his wife are really angry at me for posting what I did. And here's the sad part. A lot of people really thought what I posted was really sweet. But whatever they say goes. So I'm never going to really do anything like that ever again. But that doesn't mean I can't say to my nephews, I love you very much. You know, and just like I literally I said this almost a week ago, but I hope to be there all the days of your life. So, that's about all I have to say on that. I hope you all liked this video. I mean, I've done this. Actually, one more thing I gotta tell you. I don't think I may have told you this story before, but one of the main reasons why I did the State of My Being address was because literally the night before I got in a huge argument with my brother. And if my math is correct, this would have been just right around the time that my sister-in-law had gotten pregnant with my twin nephews. Needless to say, that wasn't the greatest time. Ever since I started doing the State of My Being address, I really have been trying to do my best to elaborate how I'm feeling, as well as recap all the important stuff that's happened in those last 100 days. For State of My Being address, obviously. There have been a lot of ups and a lot of downs. But I just said this earlier, the glass is not empty. It's not half empty. It is refillable. And I'm going to do what I can to at least keep it half full. Because you know what? My life has never been perfect. But you better believe I'm going to try everything I can to make it at least good. Because if nothing else, good is, it's in the name. It's good. That's all you got. So, yeah. So to, my family, on the very off chance you're watching this, I love you guys. To my nephews, I love you very much. And you better believe I'm going to be there all the days of your life. I was there all 365 days that my youngest nephew was alive. He just turned 1. So I'm going to continue that streak forever. Well, if at all possible, forever. But nothing lasts forever. Oh, yeah. I know it's some... Actually, that should really let me give you just a brief rundown of how bad I really have been feeling. Because here's the thing. I've said this before. I'm never going to commit suicide. Ever. Ever, ever. I don't know how to tie a noose. I don't own a pistol. I don't know where to acquire cyanide. I don't have the funds to go to Suicide Force in Japan. I don't own a toaster. So, that's never going to happen. But I tell you what, after I got my heart broken earlier this year, if the Grim Reaper were to show up with, the cloak and the scythe and being a walking, talking skeleton, and he said it was my time to go, I wouldn't have argued with him. But that's not going to happen. Because I've been getting a lot of support doing these videos from a lot of really good people. You guys know who you are. I really could list a whole bunch of people who've been liking my videos and supporting what I do and have nice things to say. From the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate that. I know I don't really say that enough, but I do. Although I will try and say that more. If you feel like, seriously, let me know if I'm not doing that enough. I'll try and be better about that. I really will. But I do hope you all like this video. You don't need to like my channel. You don't need to subscribe to my channel, but it'd be great if you did. Follow me on social media. This video is going to be on Facebook too. So there's that. And just like I've said many, many, many times in the past, I am beyond humbled that I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I am hopeful that we all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk or chat, and that's one more thing too. If you really are feeling that bad, please talk to someone. It doesn't even need to be me. Talk to anyone. Trust me, the people in your life who matter the most, they're going to listen to you. So, if you ever feel like you need to talk to someone, please do. You'd be surprised how many good people are out there who will listen to what you have to say. I know I will. So take care, everyone, and make good choices. And because, in the words of Uncle Harold, if you forget where you come from, you wind up being a fucking asshole. 607 all day, baby.